as a kid, I always grew up in a Christian household, and I've always loved God, and I've always been faithful to God. But I've always struggled with one thing, and that was my smile, because my teeth were always rotting. I had this hereditary disease that my grandfather had, and it went on down to me. But the thing I struggled with was that I'd always get, while I was growing up, I'd always get made fun of school for my smile. I always got told I'd never brush my teeth whenever I always did brush my teeth growing up, and they'd always make fun of that. And hearing all those comments, it just hurt me emotionally, and it would just get me so angry, frustrated, and it'd break my self-esteem and lower it. And around that time, I didn't even want to go to school because I just knew the next day I'd just get made fun of again. And after 5th grade, I was homeschooled, and all those horrible, and after that, all those horrible comments stopped. But those comments stuck with me throughout the years and began to really just tear me up. I began to believe some of the lies that Satan would just put in my head and tell everybody, like, you're not good enough, you're not the smartest, you'll have, all your friends will just leave you and no one cares about you, or all of your friends will just eventually abandon you. And I just lived in the fear that one day almost everyone that I did love would not everyone, but almost everyone I did love would just leave me. But a few years later, back in 2020, was my first year of high school. I was a freshman at the time, and at that time I was going to the dentist a lot. When I had gone to the first dentist, I had gone during COVID-19, and they had a rule that your ride at the time or whoever was with you could not be in the building or anything. So my dad had to stay out in the car, and the guy was checking out my teeth and stuff, and he was starting to push on the bottom of one of my front bottom teeth, and he ended up breaking it. And the first thing after he broke it was, "Do you brush your teeth?" And I said, "Yes, I brush them 3 times a day." And then he asked me again. He goes, "Do you brush your teeth?" And I said, "Yeah, I brush them 3 times a day." And he goes, the dentist says, "Really? Because it doesn't really look like you brush them." And he said, "Well, there's nothing we can really do for you." And with everything the dentist had really just said to me, just hurt me and it really got me emotional. And I was thinking, I'm never going to get this fixed. And Satan started to put some of those lies into my head again, telling me I'm not enough, no one will care about me, and all my friends that I did have will eventually leave me and abandon me. No one would abandon me, and I'd lose almost everyone. It felt like the only people who really cared about me were just the people who went to my church and my own family. And then a few years went by, and as I got used to having a bad smile, I just started going to Hersher High School and had to wear a face mask at that time. I didn't really have many friends, but I just prayed to God that I'd be able to not be ashamed of my smile or of what it looks like, and that I'd be able to make a lot of friends. And a few weeks went by, and a few weeks later went by, and I started to make friends. And for a while, I had to shut the door. I had shut the door on Satan's lies, and he had that he had been putting in my head. In the past couple of years, I was having past couple of weeks, I was having the time of my life and making new friends, not caring what people thought about my smile. Then, months later, I had gone by. I had just was talking to one of my friends, and I was just enjoying myself. But then months later, it was November 15, 2021. I was talking to one of my friends, and my right front tooth had just randomly chipped off, but thank God I was wearing a face mask. But after it chipped off and I was done talking to my friend, I went and threw it away in the trash can, and I was just emotional, and it just really hurt that happened. And then Satan's lies just started coming back, and it made me, I guess you call it anxiety attack, but it just gave me anxiety about what other people were gonna think. And later on, my mom and dad got home. I told them what happened, and they scheduled a dentist appointment, and so we went to a couple dentist appointments, and they just kept referring us to a different one. And then my dad came up with a good solution, but I didn't go with it. He came up with the solution to give me a Chuck Norris roundhouse kick to the face and knock out all my teeth. I would have gone with that.
I said I could do it for cheap, buddy. I can get it done.
I was afraid I was going to lose my own temper and go Chuck Norris on him. And you know, that would look bad because, you know, he's an old man and stuff. And so then I lost my spot. Then eventually the next appointment we had, the guy said he didn't feel comfortable with fixing my teeth, and that just really got me down, emotional. All those lies were still coming in, and so later on that night, my parents and I were talking. We were just talking about the plan and stuff, and I just got so emotional. I just burst out crying, and it got me that bad. And that's the first time I'd ever cried in my lifetime about my situation and stuff. And my parents, once they calmed me down, we prayed to God that we'd find an answer to find someone to help me with my teeth and stuff. And so we prayed, and that night I shut the door on Satan and locked it and told him that he can't keep telling me these lies. And I slammed the door on him and locked it on him. And then later on, I was praying that week, and God just told me I'm nervous, but just told me to not worry, remain faithful. And so about 2 weeks later, we had found a guy. He was willing to help us, and we eventually got the appointment scheduled, and everything was fixed. And so a week later, we had found someone willing to fix my teeth. And after that, I didn't have happiness. I had joy, because happiness only lasts for a little bit, but joy lasts forever. If it wasn't for God or my parents willing to help, or the oral surgeon willing to help, none of this would have happened. And every day I am grateful that God was able to bring me out of all that sadness, anger, and frustration I was going through. And our God's an awesome God, and I have awesome parents as well.
Amen.
Amen.
And that's all I got for tonight.
There we go.